Αποσπάσματα από αυτό το υπέροχο ντοκιμαντέρ, να ακούσουμε τον Χρήστο Σιδερη που είχε συμμετοχή στο ντοκιμαντέρ αυτό. Λοιπόν, σε ακούμε.
Καλημέρα σε εσάς και τους τηλεθεατές σας. Ήταν μια πολύ ωραία εμπειρία με τον κύριο Πίτερ. Πραγματικά ένας άνθρωπος Ελληνοαυστραλός που λατρεύει την πατρίδα του και από ό,τι κατάλαβα αυτό το κάνει από χόμπι.
Ναι.
Ήταν φοβερός. Ήμασταν 2 ώρες μαζί περίπου και μιλήσαμε για την ποδηλασία στο νησί. Δηλαδή όλα αυτά που αναφέρει στο ρεπορτάζ του, το οποίο να πω ότι παίζει και στο Netflix και είναι διαθέσιμο για 2 μήνες.
Έτσι.
Μπορεί να το δει οποιοδήποτε στα ταξίδια.
Ναι.
Και το αφιέρωμα είναι ολόκληρο ιατρικό. Εκείνος βέβαια κάνει διάφορα αφιερώματα σε κάθε μέρος που
πείτε μας 2 λόγια τα γυρίσματα που έγιναν με εσάς, έτσι, εμπειρίες, στιγμές.
Ξεκινήσαμε από το λιμάνι, μιλήσαμε για την ποδηλασία στο νησί, εντυπωσιάστηκε και μόνο που είδε τους ποδηλατόδρομους. Κάποια στιγμή φοβήθηκε από τόσο πολλή κίνηση που είχε ο ποδηλατόδρομος και του έκανε φοβερή εντύπωση που τόσος πολλής κόσμος κυκλοφορούσε με ποδήλατο. Και συζητήσαμε και το συμβάν το δικό μου, το πώς ξεκίνησα.
Θα τα δούμε όλα αυτά.
Και τέλος πάντων ο άνθρωπος έδειχνε συνέχεια ενδιαφέρον ιδιαίτερα για την ποδηλασία και για το ότι μας είπε βέβαια ότι έχασε και εκείνος πολλά κιλά και ότι είναι ευκαιρία να το συνεχίσει και εκείνος για να διατηρηθεί. Ήταν ένα ενδιαφέρον 2 ώρες.
Πώς έγινε η γνωριμία, δηλαδή πώς έγινε η επιλογή Χρήστος Σιδερης να συμμετέχει σε αυτό το ντοκιμαντέρ?
Από την υπηρεσία του Δήμου του Τουρισμού. Με πήραν τηλέφωνο και μου είπαν αν ήμουν διαθέσιμος να του κάνω μια ξενάγηση. Δηλαδή να πούμε 2 πράγματα για την ποδηλασία. Και γι' αυτό γνωρίστηκα μαζί του.
Πολύ ωραία.
Και κάναμε αυτό που κάναμε.
Εμείς βλέπουμε έτσι τα πλάνα, θα δούμε και περισσότερα. Ωραία, να σε ευχαριστήσουμε πάρα πολύ, Χρήστο, και θα δούμε το ντοκιμαντέρ σε λίγο.
Γεια σας.
Λοιπόν, περίμενε, βγάλει το τιτλάκι. Άστο έτσι όπως είναι, Γιάννης Γαριφαλάκης. Άστο έτσι όπως είναι, να πάρω τη Σοφία τηλέφωνο, την Σοφία Καραγιάννη, να μας μιλήσει και εκείνη, θα μου βγάλει στο τιτλάκι. Σοφία Καραγιάννη. Λοιπόν, όπως είπαμε, ταξιδιωτική σειρά ντοκιμαντέρ, 4ος κύκλος. Πολύ ωραία. Το ταξίδι μου στην Ελλάδα. Ταξιδεύει. Βλέπουμε αυτά τα υπέροχα πλάνα, καταπληκτικά. Λοιπόν, Σοφία Καραγιάννη, είμαστε στον αέρα, βγάλουμε το τιτλάκι και μιλήσαμε πριν με τον Χρήστο το Σιδέρη. Λοιπόν, είμαστε στον αέρα και ζωντανά στο Facebook. Να μας πείτε 2 λόγια για τη συμμετοχή σας στο ντοκιμαντέρ, το οποίο υπέροχο, με ωραία πλάνα. Βέβαια, λαχανιάσατε μέχρι να ανέβετε πάνω στο κάστρο.
Να σου πω αν θες γι' αυτό κάτι.
Ναι.
Εγώ την προηγούμενη μέρα είχα χτυπήσει το κεφάλι μου και είχα 4 ράματα και μου είχε πει ο γιατρός να μην σηκωθώ για 3 μέρες. Και επειδή αυτό ήταν μια προγραμματισμένη συνάντηση που οι υπεύθυνοι της εκπομπής την είχαν κανονίσει μαζί μου μήνες πριν, δεν με άφησαν, δεν με αποδέσμευσαν, οπότε εγώ ενώ έπρεπε να είμαι στο κρεβάτι με ράματα και με πιθανή διάσηση, έπρεπε να το κάνω όλο αυτό. Δεν μπορούσα ούτε το όνομά μου να πω, όχι να περπατήσω πάνω στο παλιό μπιλί για να δώσω και συνέντευξη. Ήταν λίγο ιδιαίτερη ημέρα για μένα.
Αλλά όλα πήγαν καλά.
Έτσι λες, άμα το λες εσύ ως θεατής.
Ναι, πήγαν πολύ ωραία. Λοιπόν, πώς έγινε η συμμετοχή, η επιλογή για να μιλήσετε, να ανέβετε πάνω στο παλιό πηλί, να γίνει αυτό το υπέροχο και στιγμές από τα γυρίσματα?
Όπως σου είπα, υπάρχει μια υπεύθυνη της παραγωγής, η οποία κοπέλα μένει στην Αθήνα, είχε επικοινωνήσει μαζί μου και φαντάζομαι και με τους υπόλοιπους μήνες πριν. Είχαμε οργανώσει τη συνάντηση και ξέραμε ότι εκείνες τις ημέρες ο Πίτερ Μανέας θα γυρίσει στην ΚΟ αυτή την εκπομπή, οπότε ήταν κανονισμένο από πριν και το θέμα.
Το είδατε εσείς?
Ήθελα να τους πω μια πεζοπορία.
Το είδατε εσείς?
Εμείς το έχουμε δει μήνες από τότε που κυκλοφόρησε.
Εντυπωσιαστήκατε, σας άρεσε?
Κοίτα, σαν παραγωγή παραγωγή, επειδή έχω μιλήσει και με κάποιους φίλους Αυστραλούς, θεωρείται η νούμερο 1 ταξιδιωτική εκπομπή στην Αυστραλία και ο Πίτερ Μανέας είναι πάρα πολύ γνωστός για αυτό που κάνει.
Έτσι.
Οπότε, ναι, επειδή έχω παρακολουθήσει αρκετά επεισόδια, πρώτα απλά προβαλόταν στο History Channel νομίζω, τώρα απλά το πήρε η ΕΡΤ και έχει γίνει λίγο πιο διαδεδομένο στην Ελλάδα.
Στο Airflix.
Ναι, στην ΕΡΤ.
Και στην ΕΡΤ 3, στην ΕΡΤ 3 παίχτηκε, ναι. Τώρα βέβαια το επόμενο θα είναι η Νήσιρος, αλλά μια πάρα πολύ καλή παραγωγή.
Ναι, είναι πολύ καλή. Είναι και ακριβή παραγωγή και πολύ καλή και είναι νομίζω η 4η σεζόν αυτή που βλέπουμε τώρα.
Τέταρτη είναι, ναι, 4ος κύκλος. Λοιπόν, ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ την Σοφία Καραγιάννη. Θα τα πούμε. Θα τα πούμε.
Καλά, γεια σας.
Λοιπόν, αφού μιλήσαμε με τον Χρήστο τον Σιδέρη και με τη Σοφία Καραγιάννη, εμείς βέβαια ο πρώτος που ανακοίνωσε και ανέβηκε στην πλατφόρμα ήταν το Coast Voice. Έτσι, από εκεί μάθαμε την είδηση και λοιπόν πάμε να δούμε αυτό το ντοκιμαντέρ. Τώρα συμμετέχουν ο Χρήστος Σιδερης, όπως μιλήσαμε πριν, η Γιούλη Ζαφειράτου για τον κήπο του Ιπποκράτη, η Σοφία Καραγιάννη για τις πεζοπορίες σε μια ξενάγη στο Παλιό Πηλί, η Βίκυ Χαλκίτη της Έγλης για το κοακό πρωινό, η ξεναγός Ελένη Τοτόμη για την ιστορία της ΚΟ σε μια ξενάγη στον Πλάτων του Ιπποκράτη, την Αρχαία Αγορά, το Ρωμαϊκό Ωδείο, το Αρχαιολογικό Μουσείο, το Ασκληπείο, ο Ιμπραήμ Φαναρτζής. Βέβαια, το ντοκιμαντέρ είναι πολύ μεγάλο. Εμείς πήραμε αποσπάσματα και είμαστε έτοιμοι να το δούμε, έτσι. Πάμε.
Series 4 of My Greek Odyssey sees us travelling through the southern islands of the Dodecanese, from Kos to Simi and Rhodes, all the way down to Kastellorizo. It's a region of Greece with significant influence from Asia Minor, and landscapes quite unlike other parts of the Mediterranean. The history is as dramatic as the scenery, and of course, the cuisine is unforgettable. There's the cliched beaches and wonderful people, plus unique cultural elements that give each destination its own personality. In this episode, I'm arriving on the island of Kos. It's the third largest island in the Dodecanese and the second most populous. So apart from there being plenty of landmass to explore, there's also loads of interesting people to chat to along the way. The planning of every season of My Greek Odyssey is incredibly involved. It's not just about what we see, do, eat, and who we'll meet, but there can also be 15 degrees in temperature difference from north to south. So we try to leave the warmer islands for the autumn. We've come down halfway through the Dodecanese Islands. We're here in Kos. This is the island that's known for the package tour, as you can see behind me. There are 30,000 people that live here all year round, but there's 1.2 million tourists. This island is, I call it the beginner's Greek island because it caters for everybody. There are thousands of hotel rooms, there's wonderful sandy beaches, and there's lots of history for you buffs out there that love your history. What I love about this island, what draws me to Kos is Hippocrates. And you know what? Your doctor probably swears by him because every single doctor in the world has sworn an oath, the Hippocratic Oath. And we're going to find out about Kos. I'm really looking forward to coming here again. I love to get off the boat and get on my bike occasionally, and here in Greece it's fantastic to do that. But in Kos, they've got a bit of a tradition because it's such a flat island, they've built bike tracks all over. I'm going to meet Christo, who's a local banker, and he's part of a bike club that's here, so I'm looking forward to a bit of a bike ride today. So Christo, how long have you been riding bikes?
About 5 years.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what made you start riding bikes?
A doctor.
A doctor?
Yes. Suddenly he told me that I have a problem with blood pressure and he told me that I have to take a pill. So I decided to change things.
Fantastic. And you're on the bike now?
Yes, now with a bike, I changed my life.
Christos has an all-too-familiar story. High blood pressure is a leading risk factor in heart attack and stroke, causing cardiovascular disease, which can lead to premature death. Nowadays, doctors are quick to prescribe medication, but healthy eating and physical activity is the option Christos took.
So I'm going to have a crash here now, you know that. I'm going to have a crash because I'm trying to work this thing and talk to you at the same time.
Be careful.
I will, I'll try. Man, there's a lot of people riding bikes here.
That's the meaning, to leave your car and take a ride.
Take a ride, eh? Everybody rides bikes in Kos.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Wow.
When Christos visited his doctor for an annual checkup, he discovered he had extremely high blood pressure. He was prescribed a pill that he'd have to take daily for the rest of his life. But instead of taking the prescribed medication, he decided to change his diet and lifestyle, introducing exercise to bring down his weight and improve his overall health.
Yeah. Forget it. You have to take the pill. Everybody take this pill.
Wow.
Give me an alternative, something different. There is nothing. You have to lose 10 kilos, you have to cut the salt, and you have to practice. Do one sport. After 2 months, I start immediately bike, I cut the salt, I lose 5 kilos, not 10, in 2 months. And suddenly I take my son to the doctor because he was ill. He checked the boy and then he tell me, let's check the blood pressure. And the doctor says, did you see? One pill. Not something different. You take the pill and now you're okay.
He thought you took the pill?
Yes. I told him, no, I didn't take any pill. I do all the other things that you do. He didn't believe me.
Have the Asian breakfast. For me, it's the best breakfast, believe me.
It looks good.
It is. You try. We have the goat cheese, honey with walnut and sesame, barley rusk, dried fruit with apricot, plums, figs.
There's also sultanas, there's all sorts of stuff there. What else have we got?
Exactly. Pastelli.
Which is sesame seed with honey.
Exactly. Fresh fruit, Greek yogurt, and Varvara.
Varvara. This is the one I don't know about. It has lentils in it.
Walnuts, chickpea.
Everything from the ground.
Beans, exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. I really want to try that, okay?
It's perfect.
Yep.
Believe me. And red wine.
Red wine for breakfast?
Yep. And pancakes, but here we say tiganites.
Tiganites?
Tiganites, with honey and cinnamon.
Righto, that looks a bit weird, but anyway. So let's start, because I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast, so I'm hungry. Okay, you can try this.
Perfect.
It's got pomegranate, all sorts of grains in it, barley, almond. Oh, it's good. A tahini as well.
Exactly.
It's special here. They don't make this varvara anywhere else in Greece. This is a special varvara, isn't it?
Only in Kos, yeah.
Only in Kos. And only you guys make it. Anyone else make it here? Does anyone else?
I think only in the small village after the coast they make.
It is really good. So this tastes good. It's sweet.
If you start, we can't stop.
But it's really good. Eleni, tell me, 30 years you've been guiding here in Kos. What brings you to Kos?
I think Hippocrates brought me to Kos because Kos was not in my plans. When I finished the studies to become a guide in Athens, I was ready to start my career at the island Santorini.
Right.
And I think something happened and I had to change my plans and to come to Kos, and I thought maybe I would stay 2-3 years to change islands, to get some more experience and so on, but I stayed on here.
Yeah?
This is amazing.
And Hippocrates has kept you here?
I think so.
When it comes to Hippocrates, Eleni is the top guide in Kos, so a stroll around town is a great way to see the sights and learn about the island's history.
Because of this amazing tree, which is a platanus connected with Hippocrates, he used to teach his pupils medicine in the shade of this tree.
Is that right?
Yes, it is the symbol of Kos.
How old is this tree?
It is about 700 years old, and it must be an offspring of the real Hippocrates tree, which stood here when Hippocrates was alive.
What is specifically important about Hippocrates, and why is he so important?
Hippocrates founded what we call holistic medicine, which means he took into consideration the whole being, which means soul, body, and spirit. And he treated the patients respectively. He was the one who said that the diseases are psychosomatic. Two Greek words meaning soul and body.
Psychosomatic. He wasn't big on pharmaceuticals, was he? He didn't believe in giving people medicine.
No, he believed in the power of nature, and his treating methods were natural.
So he sat here and taught his students here.
2,400 years ago.
So what, 500 BC, around that time?
BC.
Wow, what a spot. Amazing. So this is the centre of the island, really, when you think...
Of course.
And this is the centre of medicine when you think about it.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
But its role in the transition from people being pagan worshippers to following scientific practices gives it significance well beyond its grandeur. You don't have to be a scholar to appreciate how important this place must have been at the time. The magnitude of everything was out of this world.
Ooh, that's enough for me, Eleni. I think we've walked far enough. We'll walk up there. Let's have a bit of a rest here. We can see it all from here anyway.
Yes.
This is one of the most important Asclepia, isn't it?
Yes, it was one of the three most important Asclepia of Greece, when the Asclepia altogether were more than 300.
Tell me what Asclepia means. We all hear about Asclepia, but what does it actually mean? Give me the English translation.
It is a hospital, a spa, a sanatorium, a healing center, and a sanctuary.
It's everything.
Everything, dedicated to the god Asclepius.
So this is somewhere where people came not only to heal themselves, but to possibly prevent disease. It was prevention. It was a spa, so,
yes.
And a hospital. It was everything.
Yes, everything.
Wow. Yes. So what are we looking at? That looks like a Roman bath over there.
Yeah.
And the Romans were here, what, after 100 AD?
Late 1st century BC, they were here already.
So how long did this whole Asclepia
It started to be built from the 4th century BC till the 4th century AD.
800 years?
Yes.
Surrounding the buildings is a beautiful garden filled with fruit trees, herbs, and a vineyard. First impressions of the regular visitors is that you're taking a trip back in time to the 70s. To the uneducated, they seem like hippies. But when you understand the history of Kos, you come to see these people as outliers and visionaries, much like Hippocrates would have been in his time. This is a space of relaxation, mental well-being and physical health. It's a non-judgmental, spiritually aware community where the people lead a simple life based on the teachings of Hippocrates. To share their knowledge, they regularly run seminars and retreats centred on the practices of ancient Greek medical philosophy. The heart and soul of it all is Julie, a former school teacher who has also studied the environment and teachings of Hippocrates. It went from being a passion to a way of life.
What is this place about? You built this cultural centre devoted to Hippocrates. Is this for tourists or what is it for?
No, I didn't do it for tourism. I did it first of all for education, for the children, because this is my profession. I'm a teacher. So I started with this idea, and then people start coming from all around Europe and from all around the planet. But basically it's education and culture.
You're educating the world on Hippocrates and his teachings. He talked about his students. Mm-hmm. You're one of his students only 2,500 years later. And you're doing a great job. I love it. I come here, it's peaceful, there's serenity. The Hippocratic Oath. Mm-hmm. If you had to take the Hippocratic Oath, which is, a page of writings that the doctors swear to now, what are the important little bits that you think are in the Hippocratic Oath that you see as the teachings that you love?
Especially is that Hippocrates in this document, he's speaking directly to the gods, because for them it was very important spirituality in that times. So he's speaking to the gods and he's explaining to the gods that he will do the best for the benefit of the people. He will keep the privacy of the people. He will never give poison to anyone to die or aborting poisons. All these are forbidden in the Hippocratic Oath. In the end of his oath, he speaks also about diets, the right way of living and eating. In the end, that is very important for me. Yeah. In the end of the document, he said, if I do as I say and never fail, then to have respect from all the people forever.
Yes.
And now we are 2,500 years after he died.
Yeah.
And when we speak in the schools around the planet about Hippocratic Oath, we have a good feeling, a respect for him.
Yes.
Because what he did it for us.
Yeah. Sofia, there's no signs. How do you know which way to go?
You go up, you get somewhere. I don't know if it's where you want to go. If you want to go to the castle,
This is the way.
this is the way. But of course, some people don't know it and will go the other way.
They won't get lost.
Sophia has lived in Kos for 15 years and teaches at a local high school. She's an amateur photographer, hence the camera that rarely leaves her side, plus an avid blogger. She started a hiking club on the island, and every Sunday, up to 70 people will meet for a jaunt into the mountains.
This has been walked for 1,000 years.
It's on these hikes Sophia captures many of the great images you'll find on her blog. Kos might be known for its pristine beaches, but partly thanks to Sophia's efforts, the scenic trails are starting to become a popular drawcard too.
Wow.
Okay, this is St. Michael. It is one of the 3 Byzantine churches in the area. One is Kastrianon Church and St. Antonios. And they were all built by Osios Christodoulos, who was the monk who rebuilt the St. John Monastery in Patmos.
Wow.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
So what's up here? This is
The Byzantine gate of the castle.
Okay. So we're at the castle.
Yes, we
Fantastic.
are. We are entering the castle in a few minutes at last.
Yeah.
I'm happy to admit that the castle of Pagliopili is not one of the most aesthetically appealing or awe-inspiring fortresses you'll come across. It's a crumbling ruin, barely a shadow of what it once was. However, the views from the top and the 15-minute hike are well worth it.
Wow, Sofia, this is a small castle.
A small castle, yes.
11th century, eh? Wow.
11th century.
Once you've been to the castle, you can pop across the ravine to the small tavern on the opposite side. They serve nice meals and homemade drinks. People rave about their yogurt and honey, but I can't attest to its quality, as I'm probably the only Greek on the planet that doesn't like yogurt. For those who aren't so fit, be prepared for a hard slog up the stairs. There's a lot of them, and they're not exactly well made.
Here we are.
Wow. You can see why they built the castle up here.
You can see how big the island is from here.
While the fort may not be so impressive in its scale or condition, there's one interesting statistic about it that's certainly notable, and that's the fact that it was never penetrated by the invading Ottoman Turks. Being positioned high on a remote mountain, with views across to Turkey, Psedimos and Kalimnos, they would have been able to see any approaching forces. It was probably the safest place on the island.